of the most powerful skills you can ever learn is presenting yourself. Is presenting yourself. One of the things that you should and you must master if you are going to be a winner in MLM is presentation. It is presentation. So, if we are going to look at how to do a perfect one-on-one, what does it entail? It begins with what? With the tools. Do you have what it takes? Do you have all the tools necessary to do a presentation? Very many times, most of us, ladies and gentlemen, we are not prepared for presentations. Now, from today and onwards, the whole of next week, we shall be doing different parts of how to do a one-on-one presentation. Are we together? Because the general presentation, someone can step in for you. But a one-on-one, why you must learn how to do a one-on-one is, how many of us realize that 80% of the prospects come late? Okay, let me say 60%. Let me be so fair. 60% of our guests, they come in past 11. They come in when the presentation is halfway. And how many of us realize that 80% of the people we present to, ladies and gentlemen, they don't come during presentation time. That's why most of us have done very few presentations for only those who have aligned themselves for the presentation time. Very many people, we are setting 6, 7 appointments with them because the only time you're inviting them for is 11 a.m. That those who tell us that I cannot make it at 11 a.m., you tell them, can we do Thursday? When Thursday reaches and they cannot make it at 11, can we do Tuesday next week? When they cannot make it on Tuesday at 11, can we do Thursday at 11? Why? You are dodging what? One-on-one. And how many of us realize, for that matter, that most of the people, because they are coming late or because they cannot make it for our official presentations, you never actually present to them? How many of us have realized it? Do you know why most of us are bothered by, I cannot tell people to come to voodoo? Those who know the word voodoo will never come here. And you know why you are scared about it? Do you know why you have to use a lot of grammar, a lot of corners to invite someone to see your business? Because the only thing you have to invite, the only place to invite them to is where? Voodoo. Who said, I cannot invite a prospect in Nakasero? Who said, I cannot go and do my presentation in Entebbe? Who said, I cannot do a presentation in Gayaza? Who said, I cannot go to Dream and do my presentation? Let me tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know why we did very many presentations? If I count in my first 2 months, I could have talked to more than 300 people, one-on-ones. Those of you who were here when we were starting OQATA, I used to come here for 30 minutes. Then I go. 40 minutes, I go. And I would meet very many people ask me, Hamson, are you in OQATA? They were not sure if I was in business or not. But let me tell you one thing. I don't think there is someone who did more one-on-ones than me at the beginning. I don't think so. When you go to Emerald, I would move from one cottage to another, from one to the other, to the other. When I would go to Dream, I would move from this table I go to the next table, from that table I go to the next table, I shift to College Inn. From one corner to the other corner, after College Inn, I go to Tipsy. I do the ground floor, I go on the upper floor, I move to Furaha. Sammy remembers. I would move in the first restaurant of Raha. I go in the one which is more or less like in the bush. I do my presentation. It's coming to 8, 9, 10 p.m. I'm doing one-on-ones. Do you know when you get to understand the compensation plan? It's when yourself you are on stage or you're the one holding the pen explaining. The truth is, do you know someone who learns most in a lesson? It's the one who is teaching, not the ones who are being taught. The one who is teaching. How many of us have ever done a one-on-one? And by the time you are done with 5 presentations, you feel the understanding of the business has changed. Your belief in the business has changed. The money you used to see in the business has actually increased. How many of us have gotten the same feeling like me before? That the more you do a presentation, the more you stand on this stage here to do a presentation, the more one-on-ones you do, the deeper the understanding of the business and the more you believe in the figures that you're talking about. So ladies and gentlemen, I want us to learn how to do one-on-ones. Patel, I want us to learn how to do one-on-ones. Because ladies and gentlemen, they are going to save us the trouble that in case our prospects come late. This guy's supposed to pick my bag from home. No about that. Even if our prospects come late, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be able to handle them properly because we know how to present. But even those who cannot come to Voodoo, we shall be able to go out there and present for them. But also, ladies and gentlemen, when you get good people in your team, most of them are going to tell you, know what? Yes, we have a presentation, but I have my person in Nakasero. I have my person in Wandegea. I have my person in Chambogo. Will you say we cannot go because we cannot present? And that's how many of us, our business is stuck here. Because ladies and gentlemen, since you cannot move out with your downline is facing the same fate like you. Are we together? How we were able to grow very fast was we had mastered how to do a one-on-one. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are going to do a one-on-one, what are the tools that you need? Number 1, tools. When you know today you have to do a one-on-one presentation, the first thing is your image before you think about anything else. Before you think about anything else, stand in that mirror and ask yourself, I'm going to tell someone, you can make $1 million every single day. Do you look the million? Because ladies and gentlemen, how many of us, genuinely, you've been in a circle, you are presenting, or you've ever gone to the one-on-one, you are presenting, and the prospect is looking at the shoe, the stockings, the trouser, the hair, they go down again. You say left, right, 165, 165. That even gets scared of scratching your hair because they are over scrutinizing you. How many of us has happened? Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that you must know is this. As you go to present, make sure you reflect what you are going to talk about. How many of us would feel comfortable when you go in a hospital and this doctor comes in a damaged jean with Timberland, with this fitting t-shirt, and is the one who's going to do surgery for your brother? How many of us would feel comfortable with such a person? Even if he's the best doctor, they said this guy is the best doctor as far as surgery is concerned for the head. How many of us would feel comfortable with him when he's dressed like that? Would you feel comfortable? No way. The same thing applies when a prospect comes to the business. You are telling them that the future is where? Here. But when they look at the future and the person talking about the future, they are two opposite people. Guys, let me tell you one thing. Do not wait to first make money for you to work on your image. No. I want you to think like an employee. When you get a job as a lawyer, as an accountant, You don't say, let me wait for the first salary for me to dress like an accountant. You dress like an accountant from day one. You dress like a lawyer from day one, so that the people can have the confidence in you. The same applies to our business. Ladies and gentlemen, forget about the t-shirts. Forget about putting on the way you want. I want you to represent your business. Otherwise, you'll be presenting to someone, and before you even talk about how good the products are, how good the business is, already their mind is closed off. That whatever you're presenting, ladies and gentlemen, they don't buy it. I remember one day I was going to present at Jeliza. Some of us know Jeliza. It was way back. I got to present to this gentleman. My dad had invited him. The guy was driving. I had walked from campus. Reaching Jeliza, how many of us have seen someone sit, you're presenting, but the guy is seated like this? You're here presenting, the prospects like this. Then his first question, Hamson, can they give you something to eat? Can they give you a drink? Obviously, like a network, I say, nah, I am okay, but inside, like, oh God, I wish I was not an upline at this time. Guys, let me tell you one thing. Image, the first impression matters. The first impression matters. So ladies and gentlemen, number one, work on your image. Work on your image. Go and buy a good shoe. Some of us are buying the wrong shoes. Some of us are buying the wrong shirts. Some of us are buying the wrong, you're doing the wrong haircut. You're doing the wrong, because none of you is naked here. But the question is, are you smart for business? Are you smart for business? You are buying clothes, but are you buying the appropriate one for your business? Are we together? You're putting on shoes, but are you putting on the right shoes for your business? If I'm going to the beach, I'll buy the opens, and that is the right thing for the beach. But if I'm coming here, opens are not the right shoes for business. You bought the wrong shoes for the business. Shirts, did you buy the right shirt for your business? Did you buy the right trouser for the business? Instead of buying a jean, go buy a gentle trouser. Are we together? You must know what is the appropriate dress code for my business. Number two, as you go to do a one-on-one, what's the second thing that you need? A presentation. I want to see everyone's presentation guide, because every distributor of OQATA must have a presentation guide. Make sure in your team everyone has. Everyone pull it out. Remember, we are doing practicals. Everyone in your circle must have. Everyone up like this, a presentation guide. How many of us, it's the first time you're seeing this book? You up and didn't give it to you. Are you a member? Why don't you have it? You didn't get it. When did you join business? Are you hearing him? Who is the team leader for the Lions? The Titans. Yes. Why doesn't he have it? No, you took over the responsibility. Why doesn't he have a presentation guide? It's at home. Did you ever receive it? Stand up. Who else does not have a presentation guide? Sir. Okay, if you don't have a presentation guide, stand up. Stand up. If you don't have a presentation guide, how many of us have never received it? Because all those who are new in business, those who joined long time before the presentation guides were brought, on the official launch, we were all given a free presentation guide. Not so? Meaning that there is nothing like Me, I don't have a presentation guide. My question is, why don't you have it? Patel, I want a microphone. Tell us why you don't have it. Yes? Why don't you have it, Rachel?
I forgot to carry it, but I have it.
Oh, you forgot to carry it, but you have it at home. How many of us are saying it's at home? Genuinely, it's at home. Uh-huh. How many of us have never received it? You've never received it. And you're active. Arm straight like this, straight, like it's your arm. Like God gave you a blessing with an arm. Up straight. If your arm is not up, sit down. If your arm is up, remain standing. If your arm is not up, sit down. Okay. Why don't you have it? You never received. How many of us have never received it? You've never received. Come here. Come on stage. Come. We want to solve a problem in the company. We want to know, is it the company which is not giving us? Or is it the upline who's not giving us? Or is it we are not members? Everybody post members. Even you. How many of us you're not a full member? You don't have an ID. Mama no sente. Temunaba. Mwena. Tugenda ba weekend. 1 week you should have completed. This is a members training. Enochi? Members training. If you're the upline and people are coming for such sessions, be ready for anything. We are in the kitchen. And when you're in the kitchen, soup can pour on you. That water can pour on you. Are we together? But make sure you have a what? A presentation guide. Who is a member but you don't have? How come you don't have? Now you're being responsible. You go and buy another one. Actually, you go and buy now. Pay your momo now. Kati. Please go and take your seats. So, ladies and gentlemen, everyone should have a presentation guide. Do you know why we didn't ask for laptops or smartphones? Because, ladies and gentlemen, some of the people we're going to invite don't have the laptops like you. Do not be lied to. Do not look fancy by using what? Your laptops. Are we together? Use this. Because remember, this duplicates easily. Every member gets it. Are we together? When you start presenting using laptops, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what your prospects are going to think? Eno business nga ya bei. Eno business nga ya chi? Nga ya bei. Kyogamba netaga akagunda akasraidinga, akaswipinga. Are we together? So you mean I need a fancy gadget for me to do this business? So they are looking at the package to join the business. They are also looking at the tool to do the business. Are we together? If you find someone who does not have any computer skills, they disqualify themselves day one. Number 2, why this presentation guide? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your constitution. This is your constitution. The way a lawyer carries the Penal Code Act, the way a lawyer carries the constitution, the way a lawyer carries newspapers with different cases, the way a lawyer carries all those files, the way a teacher carries his marking guides, his teaching guide, carries boxes of chalk in his pocket and red, yellow, black, orange, purple pens, is the same way a networker. You also carry this presentation guide because this is your guide indeed. The way a lawyer is having that constitution as a guide for them, it's the same also need this document. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think Mr. James doesn't know what is inside here? He knows. Do you think I don't know what is inside here? I know. But when I have my presentation, I'll carry my books. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I want that as I'm presenting, even if I say something off my head, I still open and show them it is factual, it is documented. It's like have you seen people preaching on the streets or even church? The guy says, you must be a believer, you must be something, something, something. He quotes, and then after, he opens the Bible and reads for you, even if they are only 3 lines, so that you don't argue with him, so that you don't get this feeling of onomuyai, onomufere, agatabugasi. Are we together? The question is, it's your word against their trust. It's your word against their belief. The question is, you are saying 1 left, 1 right is 165,000. The guy, what's running in his mind is it true? Is it even possible? But the moment you open the page which has got 1 left, 1 right is 165, automatically the guy knows these are not your words. This is something factual. This is something they can do what? They can trust. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, also another thing is a presentation guide is going to help you to do an organized presentation. The truth is, I know the products of the company, but I'm also a human being. You can go to present and you actually skip some of these products if you're getting it off head. Then after you remember, by the way, you said have hypertension. I forgot to tell you about omega-3. We have a very good product called what? Omega-3. You're being disorganized in your work. You're being disorganized. Are we together? You want to be systematic. I want you to do a presentation and someone feels what you are doing, you understand. You as a company, you are organized. How many of us have brought a prospect here? And one of his compliments is, I like the way you guys are organized. Your presentation, they go to the office, man, everything speaks for itself. I want also you to be presenting. Go through this presentation guide. By the time you are done, a prospect is already satisfied. They're already satisfied. That even your testimony, when you start profiling testimonies, really they feel, you know what? No, everything is true. But you to imagine, someone is wondering and doubting from the first moment. And then now you start even bringing stories. When they're even doubting your figures, man, it's a mess. It is a mess. Number 3. What's the next tool that you need? A circle book. A circle book. Does your neighbor have a circle book? Raise your circle book. Circle book, a rough book. I want to see those who didn't come to work today. I want to see those who came to check on us. If your neighbor does not have a circle book, tell them to stand up. Hey. Does your neighbor have a circle book or they don't have? Make sure it's not a notebook for the notes. There is a rough book or a circle book and a notebook and a diary. No one should, because all those tools have got their what? Their use. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, if you are going to do a one-on-one, you need a circle book to do illustrations. You need a circle book to do illustrations. Are we together? And unfortunately, some of us, you go to meet this person and you're telling them, do you have a paper where I can write? Men, how many of us know men are always carrying a paper? Do I have a small where I can write? You start touching the pocket, you even pull out the wallet, you want to see, is there a napkin? Is there a paper somehow, somewhere that you can do a presentation? Man, you are presenting a 1 million Ugandan business per day, and you cannot even afford a circle book. You are looking for small papers, and the most unfortunate thing is, some of us have got a small ones. How many of us have got a small books of circles? Does your neighbor have a small one? Where is your circle book? Where you're writing notes, where you also draw the circles. Guys, separate these books. Separate these. On Monday, we shall be checking as you enter. You don't have a book for circles. You don't have a presentation guide. Go back home. Because you're like a student who came to school without what? Without books. What does the teacher tell you to do? You go back. Because if you do that day, you have not come to do what? You've not come to work. You've not come to work. Don't get the small ones where some of you are drawing these circles. This is you here. You bring A, you bring B. Like, how many of us have, do you know how they eat cake? A wedding cake? It shouldn't, you want the sweetness to last for long. You want your book to last for ages. So you keep writing small circles that for them to see that this is they have to do like this. This is it. Guys, I want us to draw big circles. Hamson, this is you here. Write the name. When you bring James into the business, you are going to be paid 241,000. When you bring Muhire, you are going to be paid 241. You make a pair 165,000. Let someone see the figures. Let someone see the money come to them. You're dropping. You're not drawing circles. You're just dropping. Some of us are doing what? You're dropping. Guys, get big books of. Let me tell you one thing. By the time you complete this book with circles, you've gotten money to buy even a box of these books. Some of us are thinking of, will I afford another one? What if it gets finished? You are not drawing circles for jokes. You're not drawing circles for comedy. You're not drawing circles for anything. You are drawing circles to close people and sign up people. If you finish this book and there is no sign up, there is a problem. There is a problem. Are we together? I want you to go and buy a big book. Buy a fancy one. Are we together? Guys, I want that when you present yourself in front of a prospect, the guy says, this guy has the money. This guy has the money. I was doing my internship with a law firm. I was so inquisitive, I asked my supervisor, who was an accountant also in the same law firm. I was like, but these lawyers, man, they scare us. The guy says, I remember, can you imagine? My supervisor from the university, she came, when she reached the offices, they were up here. The lady refused to enter. I was like, madam, I am inside, you can come. And she said, Hamson, I don't have to go and interact with those people. Come and find me outside the gate. I found her in her car on the street, just up here in Akasero. Next to UECDL where your center was. Why? Man, those guys, smartness, whatever, the confidence. Then asked my supervisor, the field supervisor, asked, why do these guys do this? The guy said, you know what, Thompson? If you went to meet a client, or if you as a person, you were a client, and someone comes dressed up in a suit, very good necktie, a shining shoe, well-kept hair, with a sparkling shirt, when you want to give them soda, how much do you give them for soda? Mr. James, come on stage. Sorry for interrupting you, sir. Come on stage. I will not call another person. I will only call James. I don't want to use another person. Let's say, guys, James is my lawyer or he's my consultant. Not so. I go to him. He has done for me the work, even if it is for free. But I feel, you know what? For what he has done, I need to give him a token. Not so. I want to give him soda. How much will I give him for soda? How much should I give him? 50K, 100K, not so. Eh? Even kwacha. You can even give him kwacha. Or even $1, not so. I will not mention any profession, not mention anyone. Another guy comes, he's in slippers, he's in his funny trousers, funny shirts. I want to give him a soda. How much should I give them? Already, how much is a soda genuinely? How much is a soda in the normal shops? 1,000. Can I really pick out of my pocket one can say, James, go and buy soda? Go and buy soda of 1,000. Can I? Already in my mind is, where does he even drink the soda from? Is the first that's running in my mind. Are we together? In the first place, the first question is, which soda does he take? Are we together? If you say you're going to buy him lunch, I'm going to tell him, omanyi wansono waliwo mama gundi aina akachogo kabiri muhogo ne. If I want to give him breakfast, do I give him a katogo of 2K? 5K? Already in my mind, I'm thinking of this guy must be thinking from CJs. That's what's running in my mind. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, how many of us have realized that we usually give sodas, by the way? All of you have given out sodas. But why is it that you give James 50K, you go to another guy, you're like, is that soda zina bulungi? Kwate chevitano. How many of us have even gone to people? Some of these guys, you even brought coins of 300 shillings. What can 300 shillings really buy for a man? I don't eat sweets anymore. I don't eat chocolate anymore because I'm past those things. You're giving me 300 shillings. I go and buy what? It can't even buy a book for my kid. It can't even buy me a pen. You're giving me 300 for what? Why do you give it to those men? Please, sir, take your seat. Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen, that people are going to respond depending on how they look at you? Someone is going to give you 1K to go and buy soda, or even 500 shillings. Which soda will you buy with 500 shillings? Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? I want that as we go to do our presentations, I want you to look the money. There's a gentleman who said, fake it until when you make it. Look like a millionaire, talk like a millionaire, walk like a millionaire. I want you to go and look for a video by Patman, which is about how to do a presentation. This is what the guy said. I remember he was doing for us a scenario. He said, actually, it was a video of Act 48, how to sponsor 2 people in 48 hours. This is what the guy told us, that when we enter into a restaurant, he was a lawyer. Fresh from, actually, he was still at campus, I think, by the time he joined MLM. The guy said, when you enter a restaurant, enter the restaurant like you are a daily customer, even if you're there for the first time. He said, you enter, you see, hey, this one is Sarah, because the tag is there. He said, oh, Madam Sarah, how are you? Hey, Mr. John, how are you? How are you, John? How are you, John? Then he sits in the corner and says, bring me the usual. In front of a what? Of a prospect. Bring me the what? Who says bring me the usual? It is someone who's always here all the time. Then obviously, John won't say, what is, he will come and say, Mpozi okoze sakachi kakoko oba ka Mountain Dew. Akabulijo ka Mountain Dew akabulijo koboleta. Now the prospect is like, man, this guy is chinamu. Wala batirira wano buli lunaku. Every day this guy is here. The guy has some money. The prospect, guys, you are edifying yourself. Remember, you as the person who has invited, no one is going to edify you. You edify the upper end. It is you against your prospect. Now you want to show your prospect, I am also not a joking subject. I'm not a joking subject. Guys, I want that as you go to do a one-on-one, I want you to enter with the posture. I want you to posture up. Be up there. Let someone feel you're the right guy to do business with. Let someone feel, at least we are heading somewhere with you. Not someone looking at you and you look like a suspect. You look like a what? Like a suspect. Are we together? The other tool we need is what? A circle book, then we need a what? A pen. Good, in brackets. Check the pen of your neighbor. Does it have a lid? Is the lid still intact? Has it been piked? Does it have some pikes? Does it have the other handle which is supposed to be attached to the pocket? Is it still there? Or it got an accident? How many of us, your neighbor's pen got an accident? It doesn't have some of its parts. What happened to the pen? Guys, let me tell you one thing. You don't want to invite someone who is a potential premium and the pen was eaten a long time ago. Some of you eat the lid. When the lid gets done, you eat the kaina lid. You know the kaina lid? Then after eating the kaina lid, you start eating now the shell of the pen. Before you know it, you're now biting the kaina one which has ink. You find lips are here. And you're going to present a business of 1 million garnishing, and you want someone to give you a premium. You want someone to give you their 500,000. Guys, there are very many small things that people are always looking at to gauge you, to judge you. The same way, even as we judge people, they also equally judge us, by the way. Are we together? Make sure your pen is what? Is good. And make sure it's writing. You don't want to go in front of a prospect and... How many of us remember that when a pen refused to work, you put on the shoe? Hey, you've forgotten. You'd pass. Now you're with the prospect and you're trying to write on the sole of the shoe. Let me see if the pen is still. Then and you're doing a what? A one-on-one. You've already lost the what? The sign-up is gone long time ago. It's already what? It's already gone. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, a good pen, number 5 is what? Bank statements or proof. Ladies and gentlemen, you need things to back up your facts. You need a story to back up your facts. Those of you who did mathematics, what is the formula for area of a circle? Area of a circle. Area of a circle. Pi r squared. Now let me ask you. A is equal to pi r squared, and 1 left, 1 right is equal to 165. What is the difference between these two? What's the difference? They are all the same. They are all the same. What breathes life into this one is the story. But otherwise, these are the same. To an engineer, this is meaningless. To an engineer, this is what makes sense. Do you understand me? This is what makes sense to who? To an engineer. This is no sense. But to me, a businessman, this is what makes sense. Now, how do I also help my guest, my prospect, to get sense out of this? It is the story behind it. It is all of us should go and get this copy. If you didn't feature in this magazine, fight this month to feature, so that next month you get a free copy. But if you didn't feature, go and buy it. Go and buy it. Guys, so that as you're presenting to people, people are asking you, How many of us have come across the question of, how do I get to people? I cannot talk to people. I cannot explain the business. What does this thing talk about? 1,000 BVs Club. These are people who have sponsored premiums or an equivalent of a premium in a single month. Are we together? Show people. Come to this, the 3 in 30 is where? This is the 3 in 30. There are people who did 8. There are people who did 5. There are people who did 4. This is something, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to help you that question of, how can I get my 2 people in the easiest way? We have got a support system that you can be able to use. Our presentations, we are going to help you to present. For example, look at these guys. All these people in just 1 month. You can imagine, 1 month alone, these guys did 5, they did 4, they did 3, and tell them, you know what, this guy is even new in business. Get 1 or 2, 3 people you know in this book. Use them as what? As examples. Are we together? You know Mr. James, you know what? The guy has been in business for all this long, but he's still sponsoring. He still has people coming. There is this person who's just 1 month old in business. Like the magazine of last month. It had a guy called Patrick who had sponsored 8 people in his first month of doing business. Talk about the gentleman. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to learn to use these things. Get your back office. Do you know your passwords? Do you know your passwords? Do you have usernames? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to learn to use your DTC to close people. Unfortunately, most of us think that opening the DTC is talking about, I have 100 people. They're talking about the DTC is, I have 2 million Ugandan shillings. No way. People asking you questions about legality. People asking you questions to do with belief. Open the DTC and show them. When you join, did I tell you that you will be able to get trained? The trainings are here. Click and open for them. Let them see. There's a gentleman that Mr. Mire signed yesterday with a premium. Let's give him a very big round of applause. This guy is running 3 pharmacies. His question was, Hamson, Mzee, how will I be able to sell these products in my pharmacies when my pharmacists don't know about them? I told him, don't you worry. I opened the DTC. There is that section which talks about the products only. Not so. Have you seen that car thing which has got the link which has got on the products? I opened it for him. I downloaded them one after the other. Your pharmacists just download, photocopy, give them, they read through, they have some knowledge about it. Says, no, this one is now very easy. They talk about the 1,000 people I have? No. They talk about the man I have on the DTC? No. I showed him what is relevant to him. You have guests who are saying that I cannot get 2 people. Some of you have got 10 people. Which other testimony do you need more than that? Someone is saying it is impossible to get 2. You already have 10. Tell them, you know what? I want you to join. I want you to trust me. I already have 10 people. I'll show you how to get the 10 like me. Some of us think that a testimony is something which is 100, thousands. There is no measurement of a testimony. How many of us have gone to churches and someone saying, I've been having a nosebleed for I don't know how many years. Now it is gone. I always had allergy. When I would go into the cold, I would be sneezing. Today, I no longer sneeze. And it's a testimony. A testimony is not when a leper walks. It's not when someone who is a cripple walks. It's not when someone who's blind, his eyes open and see and he sees. No. A testimony is anything, ladies and gentlemen, that you had fear of or that was not right and finally it was right. There was a test and finally it was overcome. Ladies and gentlemen, something I want you to do. We have very many testimonies, but you think that Mr. James is one who has a testimony. You think being a bronze like Daddy Muhire is the testimony. No, it's not a testimony. It is anything that you as a person, you feel is relevant to this guy. the change you feel you as a person you have undergone. That's the testimony. Ladies and gentlemen, even telling people now I have hopes of buying a Range Rover is a testimony because I didn't have it. How many people think about a Range Rover even? Out there. Not that people are working for 100,000 per month and you're earning it every single week and you're saying it's not money. Not that people are not employed anywhere. They are footing. Day in, day out looking for jobs. You're earning 400,000 a month. Your DTC is showing 1 million and you're saying that's not a testimony? Are we together? Make sure you have your phone with data. Log in. When money hits your account, when money hits the credit section, most of us are so fast that we cannot even remember to screenshot that 1 microsecond of screenshotting that money so that you can be using it as evidence everywhere you go. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, is there any other tool I've left out? Which other tool do we need when we go to the one-on-one? Products. If you're going to do a product, if you're going to do a sale, please carry what? Carry products. Another thing that you guys can be carrying, by the way, are these things about your products. If you're going to do product sales, someone says, do you have some more information? I want to read more about your products. Give them a flyer. Give them what? A flyer. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go prepared. I want you to go prepared. I want you to go like you're a soldier going on the battlefield. He's carrying water, he's carrying his food, he's carrying extra magazines, he's carrying guns, he's carrying whatever. He is fully packed. He doesn't care about the weight. When a soldier is entering the battlefield, when he's entering that bush, does he care about the weight of the food? Does he care about the weight of the gun? Does he care about the shoes he's putting on? Does he care about the baggy trousers he's putting on? No. Why? That is what's going to save him. That's what's going to make him last. Most of us, you know what? This book is big for me to carry every day. This thing cannot fit in my small bag. Ladies, go and buy a bigger bag. This is big for me to do what? To carry. Then how are you going to present? You're like now a soldier who's saying, my bag is heavy, I cannot carry food. You're going to die. You know what? The magazines are too many. Let me carry only the only magazine on the what? On the gun. Trust me, after one day, the magazine is empty. What will happen? You will start praying to God. And then you say, God, why have you forsaken me? You forgot yourself in the first place. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, never have a feeling that your tools are a burden to you. Tools have never been a burden. Are we together? Never feel, ladies and gentlemen, these tools are too heavy for you. Never. Are we together? So, ladies and gentlemen, our task on Monday, the first task on Monday, will be checking the tools. Make sure everyone who is in your circle, on Monday they have what? Tools. Have you seen them? Number 1, image. No sneakers on Monday, no open shoes on Monday, no t-shirts on Monday. No t-shirts on Monday. No jeans on Monday. Is it clear? That's the first requirement. That's the first requirement. No jeans, nothing. We want gentle shoes. Gentle shoes. Or decent shoes. Are we together? Make sure for men, strictly closed. For men, strictly. For ladies, I will not comment. 2, a presentation guide. A presentation guide. Even if you are a guest, you go and buy. You go and buy. Everyone must have a presentation guide. Number 3, a book for circles. A book for circles. A spiral book. It should be spiral. A spiral big one that you can easily pluck out a paper, because some guests are going to tell you, can you akakapapula kampengene nkaita itemu oregulo. Or they are going to tell you, okay, give me this, I go with it. You tell them, no, this is the company property. This is the property for OQATA, but I can give you the notes. You pluck out the paper and give them. So make sure on Monday you have a what? A spiral book. Then the other thing is a pen. A good pen. Make sure it has a lid on it. Make sure it's not beaten. Then the other thing is, make sure on Monday you either have a bank statement or you have any proof of evidence. Victory. You must come with a proof of evidence. And then for the product, 50-50. But if you can have them, the better for you. And then obviously have a copy of at least a registration form. Also come with a registration form. They give them out for free up here. Go and get one, or go to Hassan. On Monday we shall give a registration form. Because on Monday we are now going to go and look at the parts of a presentation. Are we together? So, Monday, these are the requirements. So, in your circle, in the morning cell, make sure everyone who comes, you check. Everyone who comes, you check. Are we together? We shall give marks depending on which team has got all the tools. Are we together? Which team came prepared for a presentation? Are we together? Because there is no reason for teaching how to the parts of a presentation, how to do one-on-one when you don't have the tools, when you don't have the guide. We shall be repeating ourselves over and over again. So make sure on Monday you come with the tools. Are we together? And then, ladies and gentlemen, on Monday is going to be fire. Monday, I want us to challenge ourselves. Can each of us come with at least one guest? At least one guest. We've been learning, we've been talking about how to do presentations, how to do invitations. We have had scripts of strangers, referrals, friends. We've also answered the question, what is it all about? I want us to fill our presentation for Monday from here up to the extreme. Are we together? Ladies and gentlemen, on Monday we are going to have the best presentation ever. I want you to make sure that on that day, ladies and gentlemen, you have a forum. You have someone at least after the powerful presentation, after the powerful testimonies, you have someone who's saying, I don't know how fast I can be a part of this. Are we together? Not after the presentation, go and meet a person who invited you and there's no one who's coming to you. We want everyone to have someone going to them when? On Monday. Are we together? I want us to set a pace. I want us to rebrand business where? At Budu House. Are we together? I want us to challenge ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, not because it's a challenge, but I want us to grow. I want us to do what? To grow. And ladies and gentlemen, we are not going back to original styles on Monday. No, we are going to still maintain these ones for Monday and Tuesday. We are maintaining them for Monday and Tuesday. Remember, the task was, which team is going to recruit the biggest number? Which team is going to grow? Which cell is going to grow its cell more? Are we together? On Monday, we shall see which cell has grown. So it will tell us from the original number, how many have you added? How many have you added? Are we together? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Let us go through our chants.